Afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. We've had Coach Jeff Quinn joining us today. Is our senior All-Mac safety, Adam Redden. So we'll open up with a statement by Coach, and then we'll take questions.
All right, thank you, John. Appreciate everyone being here. We certainly give Baylor a lot of credit. They've got a very good football team. But for us, hosting the top 10 team here on ESPN, seeing that crowd Friday night, it was a big-time atmosphere, and it was tremendous for our football team. It was the largest student-attended game in the history of our program, and we're going to continue to need our students to continue showing up, and we appreciate that. And speaking for our team, they appreciate the energy and the enthusiasm that was in that stadium. After reviewing the film, our coaches, our players, there was a number of positives that I'll discuss with you here in a second that we need to build on and get ready for our next opponent. Offensively, we had 7 explosive plays. We put 21 points on the board on a defense that had only given up 3 points on the average, which I was pleased to see that. They haven't given up 21 points to a non-league opponent on the road dating back into the 2012 season. So that was something that we saw as a positive. Also, our running back, Jordan Johnson, I thought he did a nice job for us in rushing the ball and the offensive line, creating some seams in there, and he took advantage of. Anthony Taylor had a nice run. I thought his run was just a testament to his passion, determination, be able to come out of there and break loose, really gave us a lift. I thought Joe did a nice job, spread the ball around, had 9 different receivers catch passes, which was another positive. I think Willoughby, Hughes, and McGill, all 3 have been the top receivers, and I thought Devin Hughes did a nice job stepping up for us. He's a senior. We're going to continue to need to see him, make those kind of plays for us to be an explosive offense. We saw Tony Daniel get in as a quarterback through his first touchdown pass to Malcolm Robinson, which was an incredible, catch. His concentration, just his pure competitive determination, made a great effort in that play, and I was really happy for both those guys connecting. Defensively, we had to defend the number 1 scoring offense in the country, and it had its challenges. But we did stop their number 1 running formation. That was something we took a great deal of time and focus to do, and we held their overall run game under their average, which was good. I thought Lou Tepper and I both felt our linebackers played one of their best games, and they continued to give us leadership. Adam Redden, who's our guest here today, I appreciate him being here, continues to give us a lot of playmaking ability out there, both on the defensive side and special teams. He leads our team in tackles for loss and sacks also, and he's the second leading tackler on our defense. Special teams, for the first time, we won our hidden yardage battle against a top 10 team, which was great to see. Our punter, Tyler Grassman, did a great job punting the ball. He had 8 different various kicks in this game. They had only 1 yard of return yards, 1 return yard in their punt return, which really eliminated them in that area. He was also named UB Student Athlete of the Week. And his cousin, Corbin Grassman, does a great job for us in long snapping. Going into Norfolk State, every game, every team brings out a new challenge. This one will be no different. They run a 3-4 defense. They've been holding offenses to under 78 yards rushing, 155 yards passing. They have a real nice outside linebacker, number 7, who's about 6'7", about 260 pounds, and he runs extremely well. Nice player. They've got a veteran group of defensive players, a bunch of seniors and juniors. Offensively, they've been a little bit out of sorts. They've hired a new offensive coordinator staff this past summer, so they're trying to find their identity there. But they were much better this past Saturday as we see it. And it'll be a great opportunity for our football team. So it's going to take a tremendous effort to earn another victory, and we need that. It's very important, and we certainly look forward to this opportunity this Saturday against Norfolk State. So with that, I'll open up to any questions.
Adam, maybe you could start out, every game is important, but it's just human nature. Norfolk State doesn't ring in anybody's ears like Baylor does. As a captain, does the captains have to say anything? Did you say anything to guys to try to see that you bring the same intensity you brought last week?
Well, as a team, we just like to take every team as a challenge, so it's not really of a drop off between Norfolk State to a Baylor. Like we like to treat every team as a good quality opponent. So nothing really said during practice besides let's go back to the drawing board and then let's get back to winning, and then that's what it comes down to. And then as a defensive captain, I always stress bring the intensity to practice. I mean, like, it shouldn't matter if it was Army, Baylor, Stony Brook, Norfolk State, and then as a team, then we always take every team as a quality opponent.
Coach, how important is not only a win but a decisive win Saturday, kind of for your confidence going forward into the MAC season? Does that play in at all? Getting a decisive win to kind of help the confidence?
Well, I think it's important that we put it all together. I think when you look at all three phases, we haven't quite been able to do that and sustain that over the course of 4 quarters in a game. And therefore, you'll get the results that you want. The end result is always the key, getting that win. But more importantly is us playing well, playing together, having a great week, and really make sure that we keep them out of the doggone end zone. Our defense is certainly going to be geared up for this opportunity to rebound back and get back to what we take a lot of pride in, and that's playing great defense, not just in the run game, but in the pass game. And then offensively, let's get some momentum early in the game. Let's make sure that we connect. And then in special teams, making sure that we're doing the things that we are capable of doing. You put it all together, and you're going to get what you want.
Adam, these last 2 games, obviously you're not going to face the triple option again.
Yes.
Nobody in the MAC has Baylor's offensive talent. But is this defense going to be okay?
Definitely. I mean, we had some pretty rough weeks in the last two weeks and lit up a lot of points, but that just goes to say that we play some quality teams in Army and in Baylor, but they're 2 different teams. Army runs a traditional wing option team, triple option, and then from 1 week to the next week going to a spread offense, high tempo, and with Baylor. So, like those teams are like day and night. So it comes down to just us as a unit and then us as an organization to just come together and then game plan, and then execute it. But as far as his defense, I'm definitely not worried. We have guys like Jared Franklin playing our rush linebacker, stepping up. We got guys in the back end like Courtney Lester, who's had a pretty good game last week, and so as far as Dooley Striggles. So I'm not really worried. And then we have a pretty solid linebacking core and a pretty solid offense and defensive line as far as Christian Sokoli, Trevor Sells, Andre Davis. So our front seven's good on both sides of the ball, and then we always challenge each other like week to week in practices. So not really worried. We just got to pick it up as a unit. That's all.
Adam, last year the takeaways were such a big part of your defense and such a big part of your team's success. Those have not come as often as yet this year. Is that something that you're thinking about, something you guys are talking about, and is there any theory, other than maybe the competition level that you faced as to why it hasn't happened yet?
And then as a team, like we definitely stress turnovers, and then as far as offense, like we also stress keeping the ball away from the defense. But we definitely need to force a few more turnovers, and then obviously, and then I'll take the responsibility as far as that. And then but our team is still good, definitely like a well-structured team. And then turnovers always helps out in the wins, So like the more turnovers you get, the more opportunities you have for the offense to score. So it'll be more of an emphasis every week as it is like this week to like next week. And then definitely like we will look forward to taking the ball away a lot more now.
Jeff Devin Campbell, is he okay? What is his health status?
Yeah, he's day to day. We got to keep an eye on him. He did not practice yesterday, but I would say that maybe closer to the end of the week we'll have a better handle on where he's going to be able to whether he's going to be able to play or not.
And anybody else get hurt in the game?
Not in this game. Nope. That's it. Other than Baker and Campbell, we've been really good.
The running backs, both showed flashes. Do you still see Anthony being 1A and Jordan being 1B, or
right,
however you want to phrase it?
Yeah. We definitely have Anthony in there, but it's great to have competition. And certainly Jordan has made a strong statement, I think, after watching him play against a top 10 team in the country, and how he was being patient in there, taking advantage of some of the seams that he was presented, and he was able to accelerate. He ran hard. He broke through some tackles. It's nice to have both those guys. We're going to need them both, from that standpoint. So it's nice to have both those guys to keep pushing one another. But at this point, Anthony's still going to maintain that first snap. But it's nice to be able to roll in another guy out there that can play and give you another weapon from a run stand.
To follow up, I mean, you've said it before, but just, what do you think about, what do you like about what you've seen from Anthony so far this year?
Been very determined as a young man. Certainly when you spend a couple years behind a great running back like Brandon Oliver, watching how he practiced and prepared every day, he is putting himself. He has to master that part that Bo did eventually master, and I think he saw that and witnessed it firsthand, and he's bringing that same mindset every day. And then when he's ready to play in those games, he's taking full advantage of every opportunity he's presented. And that's what I see out of Anthony, and I like where he is. I talked to him, just a matter of fact, before we came over here. But I also like where Jordan is. So, it's nice to have that, that stable of running backs, and we're going to continue to lean on both of them.
Jeff, can you take us through the decision to change positions for Boise and what went into that decision, how he reacted to it, and where you see his role going from here now as a corner?
Great question. Boise Ross is a tremendous team player. He wants nothing more than an opportunity to impact this program in a positive manner. We addressed it, and this is not something that just came up when we talked about it back in fall camp. When Marcus did go down, we felt, it was important for us to have that conversation and discuss it a little bit. Then we kind of placed him in some sub-package, opportunities, being able to play both wide receiver and defensive back. And we feel at this point to give him an opportunity to really develop as a defensive back and as a corner, we need to put him there full time. So we're going to go down that road. And, he's accepted that. It's going to be more challenging for him because, obviously he had an opportunity to be on the field as a wide receiver, and now he's battling out a little bit with Courtney and Dwelly. But in his dime role, he did a great job for us, and we're going to continue to see him grow at that position. And I think he's got the speed, the toughness, the competitive fire that you need. And he's a great player. And as I've said, if you got a lot of great players, play them all. And whatever it takes to help our football team is going to be the mindset that I have. And he's been accepting it, and I appreciate his willingness to go over there and do whatever he can to help our defense.
Adam, you made that switch. Adam, how difficult is it? How much have you talked to Boise, and what's it like to just all of a sudden have him kind of show up in the room all of a sudden now?
It's definitely good to have Boise on like what we call the dark side. So it's good to have him there. He's a talented player, a great athlete, obviously. And then if he couldn't do it, then he wouldn't be there. So to him, I wouldn't think that it'd be too challenging, because for myself it wasn't too challenging. It's football to us, And then if you go from playing corner or to wide receiver, to you, like you've seen it before, because the corner plays a wide receiver, and then vice versa. So not really challenging, but he takes it with great responsibility, and then he's been stepping up all this week and then all last week too. So I have no worries about him, and then he'll be a great piece to our defense.
You kind of spoke to this after the game, but just to be clear, Jeff, if Marcus comes back and is 100%, could you reevaluate this, or do you see this for this year being permanent?
No, I think you always keep an open mind to those things, because it's a great question. I feel whatever it takes to help our football team. I would like to be able to have that conversation by being able to get Marcus back, but right now it's just going to play itself out the way we are heading in that direction. And when we do, we'll certainly open it up for whatever it takes to get the best players on the field that helps us win. Because Marcus Baker needs to be on the field, Boise needs to be on the field, these guys all need to be on the field. And I feel strongly that when that time comes, we'll be able to do that.
Jeff, how much of some of the play of the younger receivers like Island and Martinez and Robinson helped ease this decision along as well, too?
Well, that's a good point, Paul, because I think when you look at the depth we have at the wide receiver position, it allowed us to have that conversation and think about moving a guy over there. We felt that way with Courtney Lester. You know, you brought up a point about Adam Redden moving over there. You know, both Courtney and Adam were both wide receivers when they were first in our program. And then, you know, when you look at those kind of situations and you don't have as much depth at another position, especially in that defensive back position at this point, we needed to have that conversation. And it's good to know that we have enough depth at receivers to continue to be explosive at that position. And when I look at 9 guys catching passes, you know there's a lot of guys stepping up and taking full advantage of their opportunity. But I think Malcolm Robinson, you know, and you look at Jamal Island and Jacob Martinez, that helped us along the way as we were making that decision. It's the best interest of our team.
Coach, obviously week 1 against Duquesne, FCS team struggled. Do you approach this week against another FCS team any differently now, having that experience from the season opener?
Well, I think I look at all 3 games very carefully, as our coaching staff does. And we know that this is an opportunity for our team to come together, as I made reference to my comment earlier. And that's what it's all about. We try not to, you know, I know what you're asking because you're trying to, I don't get into talking about, you know, one team here and another team here. It's not about that. It's about our guys being locked into the plan, understand the game plan. It doesn't matter who you play. It matters how you compete for 4 quarters. And that's the mindset you have to have, because therefore you don't have to address letdowns and, you know, and not playing up to your full capabilities. That's what I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in external factors. I want our kids to prepare and understand we respect every single opponent we play, and you know, we fear no one, and we got to come together as a football team without a doubt. And I know that locker room is tight and they're together, and it won't matter who lines up. We're going to play our very best, and that's the mindset we have every single day in our program.
That being said, do you think your players have kind of almost learned a lesson maybe from your past experience against teams like this, and they're more prepared going in? They know not to take anyone lightly, would you say?
Great point, because that is exactly what I would expect a mature football team to do. You know, is understand how to step up, be reliable, dependable by not learning from those experiences. Those experiences are so valuable, you know, to developing a football program and creating a winning culture here. We need to create a winning culture. And to be able to do that, we have to have young men that understand, you know, how to get prepared every single week, how to look, you know, it's a new week, it's a new opponent. And don't look at the past, you know, learn from it, build on it, and understand what you have to do to get ready to play at the highest level. And I think these kids understand that, and that's what we're trying to develop here, is a consistent winning culture, that it's every single week that we come together and play our very best. Right now, you know, I look at the previous 3 games, there's been some positives without a doubt, but we need to be more consistent and execute the plays and the calls that we've made. And be able to do that, then you don't have those concerns that maybe some people may have out there.
Adam, it looked like some early in the game anyway, there were some dime situations where you had your hand in the dirt rushing. I think you had a pressure one of the early in the game. Just kind of talk about that. It's a different kind of thing rather than rushing from the secondary. And, what do you think about yourself as a defensive end?
I wouldn't call it much different from last year, obviously, because we had the same dime package. Just I probably rush a little more than last year, obviously. And then I just take that as a responsibility as a leader, as far as this team. And then they wouldn't put me there if they didn't believe that I can make a play there. So then it definitely helps out us as a defense. And then I just feel like that it definitely puts teams at a disadvantage because they have more of a speed rusher down there. So it definitely helps us out and put us like in a situation to actually make more plays. So I just take that as a responsibility and then as a piece to the team that actually can help us win more. So.
Do Do you have any counter moves? Do you think about that, or you just?
Yeah, I've been watching Dwight Freeney, so then his spin move a little bit, and then I've been trying to watch a little bit of Khalil Mack, obviously, because he does it very well, and then he done it well for us for the last 4 or 5 years for us. So I definitely take some pointers there, and then I got my own moves. Just gotta wait and see it. You know what I mean? So watch this Saturday, find out real soon.
Jeff, I mean, he has a couple sacks, a few pressures. How do you feel about your edge rush cast, aside from Madden?
Yeah, well, Jared Franklin, Brandon Crawford, Ted Roy Lynch, all have provided us some good upfield speed rush. But as always said, it's not the size of the dog, it's the fight in the dog. And this guy has got a lot of fight. And he's been blessed with talent, and mental toughness to be able to put in there. When you look at some of the guys he's going up against, it's amazing. But guys his size with that speed and that toughness, that mental toughness, they can be extremely effective. And we saw that last year. We need to continue to put some pressure on the quarterbacks, and Adam is definitely one of those guys for us.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Available for one-on-one. Thank you.